humanity. It's January 21st, 2019, and it's your lucky day because it's Mondays with Bev and Paul. That's Bev.
That's Paul. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you all today? It's Martin Luther King Day.
It is.
I got out on the road. I'm like, how come there's no traffic?
I
What
know,
is today?
I know. Me too. Yeah.
But we are here on Monday with you. We're glad you're with us.
Oh,
and
we
I'm
always
glad I'm
are.
with you.
I'm glad I'm with you too.
I went to a conference this week with Jenny.
I know.
Yes, it was on trauma, and had some of the big wheels in trauma. And trauma, basically, the training is, it's all somatic. It's locked in our bodies.
Mm-hmm.
So we are going to share with you in the future how BioTouch really can help with trauma.
Oh my goodness, yes.
But today we have the question of how can BioTouch help with overweight? So we're going to do that because that's going to be our workshop this week.
Yes. Oh yes.
Which
you're going to be missing.
You know, Chris Christopherson's in town. Jenny wouldn't miss him for the world.
I get it. It's okay.
So, but we do have some things coming up. Tell us about a couple of the things.
You know, just looking at those, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, both of these certified practitioners are really, it's so integrative. BioTouch is so integrative because we have Chiara in Gary, Indiana.
Yeah, and I think the class is in Chicago.
Oh,
yeah,
it's in Chicago. Okay. That's right. She has this beautiful space now. Anyway, she's integrating BioTouch, teaching BioTouch with some art journaling and it's just, I'm so excited for her. I think it's going to be gorgeous.
Amazing idea. And you can find her on her Facebook page at the Pain Relief Depot. Yep. Just look up Pain Relief Depot. And you can see it there. It's also on our website. You can sign up for it there. But.
Yeah, that sounds great. And then Michelle, who is a BioTouch practitioner here in Tucson. Where are we?
Tucson.
We're in Tucson. She's offering, for the first time, a workshop for Reiki practitioners to learn BioTouch. That's going to be awesome.
Yes. I've seen if we were getting a special call from the president. Yes, and you can find her on Facebook by going to Bright Way Wellness. And it has the link there for it. And this is a first, how to bring BioTouch into a particular group of people as an adjunct to their healing.
I know. I'm so excited. And Michelle has a gorgeous center space to offer it.
So those are two supports. We also we want to share with you here, Howard up in Phoenix. I just went up to meet these wonderful people that have the Center for Humane. That should be humane, not human living. Humane Living. They're in the Phoenix area. This is two doctors, Dr. Foley and his wife,
Lisa.
Mm-hmm. She goes by a different last name.
Right.
She's a doctor also.
Right.
The young fellow on the right is their son,
Michael,
who met Howard. And so I met with the two doctors, Michael and Lisa, to go over how to present BioTouch to their group. They teach a lot of martial arts, and they have workshops with people all over the world they're starting, and they really are trying to empower families and children in a self-awareness, in knowing who they are, and they want to move into healing work, and BioTouch will just work so well with that.
Perfect.
So they have given Howard a space in their center Thursday nights, Thursday late afternoon, evenings, and we are going to go teach all the black belts in his group.
That's going to be great. I'm looking forward to that.
So we are grateful to hook up with the Center for Humane Living. If you're in the Phoenix area, contact them, or on our website you can see when some of the new workshops will be with Howard up there too.
Yeah.
And we also have one other thing to share with you, and it'll be posted. We did a podcast with J.A. Plosker, and he's with the nobodiesview.com. He's got the Nobody's Guide to Light.
And that's cool, isn't it? Yeah.
And actually, I bought his book. I'm reading his book. Very well done about all the different religious groups in humanity from a very fun point of view of learning about them.
Yeah.
So if you don't know anything about Buddhism or Taoism, He really gives you a nice view. He actually taught religious studies, I think. So we're on this YouTube site. If you can see it here, IOCKI capital H capital U T760. Otherwise, we'll be posting the podcast with him. It was a really fun.
Yeah, that was a great podcast.
He's a very good interviewer. He has lots of podcasts going on. So we encourage you to look him up, nobodiesview.com. And things are just buzzing right along, aren't they?
They are. Huh.
Yeah. And then this week, if you really are here in town, come hang out with our friend David from Durango.
I know.
David from Durango.
I'm excited to have
Yes.
David here for our practitioner training class this weekend.
Yes, and we are going to have him again on the show on Monday to tell us about all the things happening in Southwest Colorado.
Yep.
Things are happening.
I know it.
So let's get happening to our question for the day. How can BioTouch help with overweight?
It's an interesting question, isn't it? Because we always think in terms of doing.
Right.
You know, what am I doing? What have I been doing? And what am I not going to do anymore to lose weight?
Yeah, and it's always a conflict.
Yeah, it is. And there's a million, I don't know how many diets out there that are, it's just craziness. So, then along comes BioTouch, non-invasive, lets the body unfold in its time.
Unfolding is a good word.
Yeah.
And that's really the teaching of BioTouch. It's an unfolding, an undoing process. I like that word, undoing.
I do too. No, it's
that
good.
Happens best when you let the story unfold itself.
A story, isn't it? Though
Yeah.
It is a story where each of us are a beautiful story.
I always used to like that, when I was going through my own stuff. And one of the greatest things I learned about to share with people was we all have a story.
Yeah.
And we can write anything we want in those pages.
Oh.
Yeah.
Go in and edit once in a while, right?
There's no right story. They're
Yeah.
just stories. And so our overweight situation, that's just part of our story.
I think.
I'm noticing I'm gaining a little weight, right? You get moving into 70 years old. Oh my God, there's a belly, and it's all based on concepts and comparisons.
Yes, comparisons. Oh, we're so good at that.
It's not about how I feel, and so BioTouch at one of those levels you talked about is getting BioTouch for an overweight situation helps me get in touch with my story, in touch with my body. How do I feel with all this weight?
Oh, yeah. And, when you're in that editing mode, so that self-awareness, basically what it's in place for all of us is that we can be empowered to change what is not working for us, to make different choices. And in terms of overweight, as we know, you can make a choice not to eat something that you think might have contributed to that overweight. If it's chocolate at 9:00 at night, or if it's drinking or whatever, you get to make different choices now. And by the way, you always have been able to do that.
Well, what's even more interesting about that choice thing is there's a part that happens, and we're going to use Sandy Totaro, who's now passed on, was a big part of the foundation.
Yes, she was.
And when she first came in, and we have pictures of it, she was, quite overweight, and was a chocoholic.
Mm-hmm.
She would tell me about how she would go in her car and sweat, thinking about whether or not she had enough chocolate at home for the night. Yeah, that's how addicted she was to it.
Interesting.
The interesting thing about her was she didn't have to consciously change her story. BioTouch, as she started getting it, made her aware of the story.
Yeah.
And the changes that she was able to make was all of a sudden the anxiety went away.
Mm.
All of a sudden she realized she wasn't eating as much chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden the self-awareness started allowing her to incorporate with her body. And that's how the choices started to change.
Wow, that's powerful.
Yeah, and she lost, I think it was a year and a half later, over 100 pounds.
Right, I remember.
Yes.
I was blown away.
Blown away.
I
And
know.
no conflict and no real dietary conflicts of having to change or worrying about what she's eating and how many calories.
And beating yourself up because you're not
Right.
losing fast enough, or you're not looking a certain way. Oh boy, our society has really done a trip on us. Yeah.
Working with a young lady now who's all been concerned about her weight. She's in her 30s, been concerned about her weight all of her life, you know. And as she gets BioTouch every week and she starts talking about her awareness of her weight, she starts to realize, you know, I need to stop worrying about it. Part of my weight is my body type. You know, that's a big thing of people changing how they look at their body as it's beautiful. You know, yeah, it might have a few extra pounds here and there, but some of us carry more weight than others, and it's not an overweight problem. It's a how I look at myself and accept myself.
Oh dear. Well, that's a whole different show right there, isn't it?
So she's, you know, able to start losing weight, changing her dietary habits because now it's a joy.
Right.
It's not a pain in the ass.
Right. Yeah, right. And you know, that's, I think, in that self-awareness that BioTouch brings us into, it's at a point where you begin to love and respect and honor yourself. It changes the way that we feel about ourselves. That's where it's all locked up anyway.
So one of the main sets we do, which we'll share with you in a minute here, is the metabolism set.
Yeah.
And we also have a section from the book that Deborah wrote, right?
We
do. That talks about, you know, why BioTouch is profound in its ability to help us make changes in our life.
Yeah.
When you stop trying to do something. So this is from the book that Deborah Schildhouse wrote.
Right.
BioTouch, Healing with the Power in Our Fingertips.
Actually from the chapter called Defeating the Darkness. And she is interviewing Paul, and he is talking about BioTouch, and he says, I say it's magical, the way BioTouch reaches down to that scared child in all of us and promotes feelings of well-being and love. BioTouch is love, and love is BioTouch. It's all we do here. We give people love. We're not here to fix people, but to serve them. We get to participate in their healing and feel their joy. It empowers people to help other people. And if those people just happen to heal in the process, perfect. And that reminds me again of how wonderful it is when we offer these health condition workshops, because we're offering a specific set of points to address a specific issue and to bring you into the hope, the possibility of making different choices in that self-awareness, loving yourself.
So you talk about that workshop. This is the workshop coming up this Thursday.
Yep.
The overweight issues. Dr. David Stender is going to be our guest speaker. He works with a lot of people in losing weight. He has a different kind of a program, but he'll talk about, you know, the issues that we have with overweight. So that's this Thursday, 6 to 8 p.m. We encourage you to come and join us. Just 2 hours.
Yeah.
We're going to teach you a couple of sets of points, one of which we're going to actually show you here. And they're always fun and informative.
They are. Yes.
Yeah. So that love, you know, I had a dear friend, Louis. He used to go over to people who were overweight, even obesity, and he'd go over and he'd give them this big hug, and he says, I love you, and there's so much here to love, you know. And it was just like these people would melt, you know. They were being embraced, and that's really the BioTouch healing technique.
You know, I was thinking when he was doing that, he was saying, in all that you're totally honored and accepted. And I think a lot of times that's what happens. We look at the outside of ourselves and say, oh, I won't be accepted, or I won't be honored. Yeah.
So those two fingers touching someone very lightly at the solar plexus, just below the breastbone and just to the left of the big bone, creates relationship of acceptance. And in that, if I'm overweight, if the body needs to lose weight, it will start to do that. I will start to change my habit of eating. We had I remember that a couple took this class, and all of a sudden the wife a month later was saying, you know, it's really interesting because since I've been doing BioTouch with my husband, I'm noticing all the bananas are gone.
Oh.
And he used to hate bananas. And so she started to notice he was automatically going for the bananas, for whatever was in those bananas.
Yeah.
And he wasn't even quite aware that he was
it.
doing it.
Oh, that's interesting.
So, we've seen that with people. Dietary habits will change as the body needs it. I've met, total vegetarian living foods people who were very sick who never felt better till they had a Big Mac. And the other way too, people who were nothing but meat and potatoes who all of a sudden ate some brown rice and broccoli and they never felt better. So we don't know.
We don't know. We don't need to know.
Right.
Just use BioTouch and how exciting. Just let it all come out how it's going to.
Come out.
And when it's going to,
when it needs to pass.
Let it all flower.
So we're going to share with you the metabolism set, which is the one set that we have that helps the body assimilate what it needs. So the food that we're taking in, many times we're not getting the nutrients, and it helps us eliminate what the body doesn't need. So here we go. This is from our manual, and it's the metabolism set.
The metabolism set can be used to help the body assimilate what it needs and eliminate what it doesn't need. The metabolism set has 2 steps. Step 1 involves touching points in matching fire along the large muscles on the front of the neck. Points 1 and 1 are located above the collarbone in the soft indentations on both sides of the notch at the top of the breastbone. Points 2 and 2 are halfway up the neck on the front of the large muscles. Points 3 and 3 are at the top of the neck on the front of the large muscles. The second step involves holding a point on the front of the body and touching points next to the spine on the back. Hold point X on the front of the body is on a line directly between where the nipples would be on a youth and is 1 to 2 inches to the left of the breastbone. Another way to find X is 1/3 of the way up the breastbone from greeting point 1 and 1 to 2 inches to the left of the breastbone. The points on the back are located next to the spine, forming a rectangle around the breakover point. The breakover point is where the bottom of the rib cage joins the spine and can be found by imagining a line directly through the body from greeting point 1. To perform step 2, find hold point X on the front of the body and touch points 1 through 4 on the back. Point 1 is approximately 1 to 2 inches up from the breakover point on the left spine muscle. Point 2 is directly across from point 1 on the right spine muscle. Point 3 is 2 to 3 inches below the breakover point on the right spine muscle. Point 4 is used to address blood sugar problems and is added to the other metabolism points when needed. It is located across from point 3 on the left spine muscle.
There you go.
Boy, we've seen some amazing results from the metabolism set.
And of course, that 4th point, a lot of times when we're overweight, we have diabetic problems. And so that regulation for blood sugar is incredibly effective, and you need to work with your doctor.
Yeah.
Because it will start making changes, and you need to regulate how much insulin you're taking, not taking. When you're working with your doctor about diet, you need to know what can help and hurt. So BioTouch is a great adjunct to your medical care.
Yeah. Oh, wonderful.
So you are wonderful.
You are.
And you all out there are wonderful. It's another day. We just went through 20 minutes quickly.
What? My goodness. That's great.
So, as you can tell, we have lots happening. Check out our Facebook page, our new website. You really like it. All the classes are there. All the workshops are there. And I guess
that's it.
For another Monday with my name's Paul.
My name's Bev.
And we'll see you all next week.
Yes. Have a wonderful week.
Thanks.